Okay, I like this one. This one should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward, pretty straight back. I'm just gonna find the best posture exercises on YouTube, and I'm just gonna recreate those for you guys, and you should be able to just fix your posture snippety snap, just like that. I'm gonna make like a VHS style like workout video, but for posture it should be fun. So just grab a mat and come on, join in, okay? But first I've got to find those. I gotta find those videos. So let's do that. Okay. So I've just got to find posture correction methods. YouTube, maybe. Posture correction exercises. How many? Really? What? 511? What? That was a lot of stuff that I just saw. I was originally going to film a VHS style workout, work with me tape, where I just kind of did some posture exercises and then I fixed my posture. Here we go. In order to fix your posture, you have to do these 3 exercises. That's all there was to it. Because I was under the belief, or the assumption, that you can just fix your posture with some drills every day, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom, you're good. But I kept looking and looking and looking and never finding a consistent answer. How many? So I started to think maybe there's not, are these all good posture exercises, or are some of them bad, or I don't know. There's what is the actual what is the science behind this? Finally, after a lot more searching than I thought, I found this video right here by a guy named Jeff Nippard, like hard nips. I was distraught. I was destroyed by this video. I was absolutely obliterated. It says yeah, you can't fix your posture. Then I thought, have I been wrong? Have I been completely wrong? It's not even the exercises, it's that you can't even fix it at all. Have I been totally wrong? So in this section of the video, I am going to try to explain how to fix your posture, if you can at all, for the sake of aesthetics, looks maxing, that's what we're doing here. But I'm gonna use this video as a vehicle to explain that. So in this video by Jeff Nippard, show pictures of his hard nips here. Thanks, Joe. Editing Joe. Thank you. He basically presents 4 different myths. I'm going to tackle maybe one of them. He says back pain isn't caused by posture. That's a myth. He says slouched posture isn't even technically bad posture. He says you can't fix your posture. This one's key. You can't fix your posture with 10-minute daily drills. Okay. And then finally he says that overall fixing posture isn't really something that's usually worth actually doing. And also I'll add that this whole situation that I'm about to present to you gives a really good argument for why you shouldn't just trust YouTube videos or use YouTube as your research algorithm, because it's just not good for that, okay? There's a lot of stuff on here and a lot of people don't cite their sources. Jeff does, but we're gonna get to that in a second. I realize how ironic that is considering what's happening right here, right now, what I'm doing, but I thought it was worth mentioning because, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of misleading YouTube videos that might make you think something that's really not that true. I hope not to be one of those because I have the document. There it is. One of source. Thanks for that sound effect, Joe, of the editing room. I'm sure that was really good. So I'm gonna be honest, I spent a lot of time on this part of the video, this posture part of the video, and I really wanted to be definitive about my answer. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna be super definitive, but I think I do have an answer for you, so just wait me out here. I was also going to do this section where I analyze Jeff's whole video and say what's good and bad about it, and at the end of the day, this video that he made, Jeff, is just not that clear. It's not a very clear video. It says multiple things in multiple places of the video. It says you can and you can't fix your posture. I mean, the title literally says you can't fix your posture. Combine it with the fact that he says bad posture isn't really a thing. It's not a real thing. There's no bad posture. It sort of gives off this idea that not only can you not fix your posture, but you shouldn't even worry about it. It's literally what he says. Even Jeff's podcast associated with this video literally says, Dr. Spinelli, who is one of the guys he interviews, one of the doctors he interviews, says that if you do upper body work, you're gonna get a lot more return. That's literally that's like the quote. I'll put it up on screen, but that's the quote. And it's like, so can I fix my posture or can I not? The video is probably accurate in what it says, but it is definitely not clear. So I'm left asking, can I improve my posture, Jeff? Can I do that? Can I improve it? I don't know. You're spazzing me out here a little bit. Like, I just want to know, can I improve it or not? I just want to know that. Like, I'm on my feet here, dude. I want to fix my posture. Like, look at this. Oh no. It's not good, bro. I need this. The video also like cites sources for some things really, really well. Like so much better than any other YouTuber on the whole internet. And at the very same time, doesn't give you any sources at all for other things. It makes claims about both, but then no source. What's up with that, Jeff? For back pain, for there being no link between text neck and back pain, he gives tons of sources. The description is inundated with source after source. It's great. But then when it comes to daily drills not working, trust me, bro. You know, like, where's the source at? This is a little bit of an exaggeration because he does talk to Dr. Spinelli and the other guy. There's no clear like evidence that you can't correct your posture. You have to pick a side, nip hard. You have to pick a side. And this isn't supposed to be like a zinger or something. I'm not trying to start drama. I'm just saying, if you're gonna make a video called "You Can't Fix Your Posture," like, make sure you can't fix your posture. And quick spoiler, those daily drills he talked about, they actually probably will help. And this may or may not be what Jeff was trying to say, but there's no denying that the marketing for this video is at least a little bit misleading. I mean, it sent me down the posture rabbit hole. I believed it. I'm gullible. I believed it. I also want to note that regarding said rabbit hole, posture rabbit hole, that's a deep hole. This was not an easy thing to research. There's a lot of moving parts here. And even more so, it's not the topic of this video. Looks maxing is what I'm focusing on right now, but that's not even the topic of the video either. So if you're still watching, I really appreciate you. Thank you. But for now, all I can say is, screw it. I want to talk about Jeff for a little bit longer. So I put it into a couple or 3 or something different points here. Number 1, I'm not convinced that Jeff is correct about back pain and posture not being linked at all. I also, just like Jeff, got in contact with 2 professionals in my area who I will keep anonymous for privacy reasons. My privacy, not theirs. One of them, who we'll call Mr. Busa. Here he is. Mr. Busa. He's a physical therapist in my area, and he said this in our interview. Bad posture doesn't cause back pain. What would you say to that?
I would say that if all of my patients had perfect posture, I would say 3/4 of my patients I wouldn't see. Right. They wouldn't have problems.
But the studies Jeff cited are seemingly good. For his sources, check the doc. One source. So on that one, I'm going to say I'm not sure. I don't know. It probably is a little bit more complicated than posture and back pain are just not linked, but I think, I don't know. Number 2, I'm also not convinced that, like Jeff says, there's no such thing as good or bad posture. He literally says upright posture is good and slouching is bad. He calls that a myth. I disagree, or at least I'm just bothered by how unclear that is. Based on this textbook I found, it talks pretty extensively about a proper alignment of the posture in order to maintain the function of the body. Here's a quote. I also interviewed a chiropractor who I will call Mr. Beam. and he straight up disagreed with there being no such thing as good or bad posture. Is there a proper posture, or is it more of like, depending on where you're at that point in time?
Oh, no, there is definitely an ideal posture. Yeah, and there's some techniques in chiropractic that are, like, one is called CBP, chiropractic biophysics, and that is like all they do, or well, it's not all they do, but their main intent change into the ideal postural position.
Also, Mr. Busa said that for every inch forward that the head leans, 10 more pounds of strain are put onto the back and the neck. I also found the study that he probably used to say that. Here it is in the doc. One source. I understand that Jeff may have been saying that slouching is bad sometimes and not other times. In fact, I think that's probably exactly what he was saying, rather than just saying slouching is good or something. Of course, that's not what I'm saying that he's saying. I think the video is just really unclear. He even says in the video that no one is advocating for you to slouch all the time. Like, that's obviously not true. I think he's advocating for a variety of postures. Like he says, your next posture is your best posture. And Mr. Busa said a very similar thing. But he doesn't present the seemingly clear reality that there is such a thing as good posture. Like, that's real. There is good posture. Instead, referring to what Dr. Spinelli says as it being moral or something. Like, I don't think so. I don't agree. I could be wrong. It could be miscommunication or misunderstanding. But it's just, I don't agree. At the very least, it's just not clear. And 3, and finally, moving beyond my initial disagreements with the video, this is the important one. Jeff seems to say that you can't fix your posture. We have to remember that we're looking at looks maxing and trying to correct posture for aesthetic reasons. So that's what we're here for. And in response to that, Jeff seems to say that you can't fix your posture. Maybe. I mean, it is like the title of the video. If you look at, as we mentioned earlier, or showed earlier, all the different videos about posture correction, the vast majority of the time, it's about fixing how you look. And so, I know that Jeff knew this, and I know that he knew people were going to see it this way. So I just don't know. Like I mentioned earlier, Jeff does not offer much in terms of like direct evidence that you can't fix your posture using 10-minute daily drills. He doesn't talk about any exercises, really. He just says, do compound lifts, and that will help your posture. So can I fix my posture? Is he referring to back pain only when he talks about compound lifts? Is he, I don't know. He refers to the doctors that he interviews as his evidence for this, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that, but from the podcast he released with Dr. Spinelli and the video itself, it seems to be the case that they're more talking about back pain than they are about the aesthetic appearance of posture, but that's not really it's not really what he's representing with this video. And also in that podcast with Dr. Spinelli, they even talk about fixing posture more generally, I assume for, the function aspect, like actually fixing your posture, and it seems to say that you can, maybe. It's just not clear at all. And if Jeff is in fact saying that you cannot fix your posture using exercises or stretching, then to his benefit, some of the research is actually on his side. I went and did the research for him. I'm just joking. Please don't come after me, Jeff. For instance, this study right here finds that it's unlikely that doing exercises in the gym is going to have any effect on your posture. There's just not enough time to actually shorten the right muscles and lengthen the other muscles in order to fix posture, which is generally the idea that you're going to hear online. And he also provides this resource in his description, and if you dig into that resource quite a bit, you'll find a link to a study where it says that you can't help your posture with hamstring stretches, which is a common stretch associated with posture correction. And that's probably not all the research that corroborates Jeff's point, but it's all the good stuff I could find. On the other hand, I was actually able to find quite a bit of research saying that posture correction exercises can have a positive effect on your posture. For instance, this study right here, which talks about thoracic extension exercises giving you a better kyphosis angle. Kyphosis, as Jeff talks about, is this rounding of the back, usually that thoracic area, but it can be any part. That forward lean, right? And then another study, cervical sustained natural. Okay, whatever that is, it seems to improve the appearance of posture, so something can help, apparently. Yet another one where they used elastic bands to help improve posture using posture exercises. Here's the whole thing right here. Oop, there it goes. There's the whole thing. Maybe try that out if you want to correct your posture. I don't know, it might work. Seems like there's evidence for it. Or this study, something called the McKinsey method, which, as far as I can tell, is like a way of categorizing back pain. But apparently, according to like 6 different studies I found, maybe less, but maybe more, if you use the McKinsey method, you can actually improve your posture. Like that angle, that craniovertebral angle, this one, I'm going to show a picture of it online. That's that forward head posture. Forward head posture is very important. That's usually what people are talking about when That's what people are talking about when they have bad posture. Most or all of these studies referring to underdeveloped back muscles and tight chest muscles as a possible reason for bad posture. Something you can correct, seemingly, maybe. Finally, the study right here, which seems to say that strengthening the core can help improve posture. The logic of most of these studies, as far as I can tell, goes a little something like this. That's a lot, I understand. If you want to read it, you can pause. Simply put, it just means if you strengthen the right muscles, those back muscles, mid-traps, rhomboids, that kind of thing, and you extend or stretch, or I guess just stretch. If you stretch these pectoral muscles, you can see some improvement in posture. That's the basic idea. A big part of this is that we need to look into the reasons that people are actually becoming worse posturally. And one of the main claims is that it has to do with sitting at a desk and how people sit in the car. The textbook indicates that from earlier. And there's a quote, "This general idea of tight chest muscles, stretched, weak back muscles, it aligns with much of, if not pretty much all of what you're going to see on YouTube. But what most of those videos miss is this cause, what's causing it. And I think that's something that's worth pointing out. It's not like these exercises that are going to help with those things aren't going to do anything. It's just that they probably won't help with posture without addressing the cause. You have to combine these daily drills and these compound exercises in the gym with addressing the actual root problem. Mr. Beam had to say this about that.
What I find is that there is a lack of balance and alignment, and so there's a compensation. And you can't fix a compensation, you have to fix what's causing it.
Right.
So people are like, yeah, physical therapy has me doing an hour of exercises every day, and my wife still says my posture is horrible.
And Mr. Busa. So what are some of the causes that you might run into?
Well, so you have your environmental issues, which is, how your space is set up, how your car is set up when you drive. Are you sitting in a real cushy leather couch that you're sunken back into and streaming Netflix for 3 hours at a time or gaming for 4 hours at a time?
Yeah.
So again, identifying the underlying cause. Some of it is just maybe you're too tall and you're sitting in a chair that's too small.
At this point, this is what I would say to somebody who asks me, I want to fix my posture for aesthetic reasons to make myself look better. I would say this. Going to the gym definitely won't hurt. It's probably helpful, and I am just going to speak anecdotally for a moment. I've never seen a huge bodybuilder with bad posture. It just doesn't really happen. When you're performing compound lifts like a squat, or even hopefully bench press, or anything like that, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to be employing correct posture, because that's how you do those lifts. And so at least for part of your day, you're going to have correct posture, and you're also strengthening those muscles. Like Jeff said, I think you should, when you're sitting down, like me right now, maybe change posture a little bit, grab a pillow, put it behind your back, maybe move the pillow sometimes. Don't stay in like one posture the whole time. It isn't horrible to slouch when you're at your desk. Don't get that idea. So I think that's true. So going back to that original question, which exercises should I choose? Which YouTube video do I choose? Well, I'll answer both of those. I think you should follow these tips from Mr. Busa on like some exercises. Like what sort of exercises might you recommend?
Sure, yeah. So typically, and again, without knowing the underlying cause, we're doing a lot of generalizations, which is fine.
Right.
But typically you want to stretch out the anterior chest, so your pectoralis major, your pectoralis minor. So stretching those muscles out. a lot of times strengthening your rhomboids and your middle trapezius muscles to get your shoulder blades so they're closer together in the back.
And then here's a video I found. Mr. Busa recommended this guy called the Posture Guy on YouTube.
He's called the Posture Guy.
There's a link to his video in the doc. One of source. I think it's a really good video. It's long, it might be really boring, but there's nothing wrong with long and boring. I'm long and boring. And you'll probably get way more out of that video than any of these other videos, because it'll talk about addressing that cause of the posture problem and give you some exercise tips on how to correct what's already been done badly. You can't do one or the other, you have to do both. So yeah, that's my answer. Hello people who skipped to this part. How you doing? You missed out on Jeff. And speaking of Jeff, just for crystal clear communication, I don't dislike Jeff. I think Jeff's cool. I think he's one of the best fitness influencers in the whole scene. Simply because he's not on steroids. Like, congratulations. And he cited sources. None of these freaking posture videos cite sources. None of them. And overall, his video made a great vehicle for talking about looks maxing with posture. Because posture is, believe it or not, a pretty important looks maxing method. A lot of people will cite it and just say, it's really good. It's so easy. Just correct your posture. Just do it. And then what people do is they look it up online and they say, oh, okay, I'll correct my posture with this video. But if they... That's just not... Come on, it's not that simple. It really isn't. I know people might be saying, Joe, you've... Oh, Joe, you've wasted all this time on posture. What? Dude, I'm having fun with this YouTube video, okay? So just let me talk about what I want to talk about. It's a lot easier to put out a video where you just say, do these things and your posture will fix itself. But it's a lot better to put a video out where I say exactly how to fix it and cite sources. And at the very least, even if you don't look at the doc even once and you don't care, you at least know you have to address the root cause of the posture impairment, and you have to stretch and exercise. It's a part of the process.